What a difference 2 weeks of football makes at Manchester United. Ruben Amorim is having a massive effect on all Manchester United players. We're going to go into what was said after the game yesterday. We're going to go into details on Marcus Rashford as well, in particular this morning, talking about what he said after the game, his performance, what Ruben Amorim has done, what he has implemented into Manchester United, how he has changed the outlook for every single player within this squad. Quite important words coming out of what from Marcus Rashford has said anyway. And you can take it with however much assault you want to, but all Manchester United fans are a little bit more excited on a Monday morning, looking ahead to what is a very difficult Arsenal game because of what they watched at weekend and Manchester United's performance. Me and Jay went into detail on this last night. We were very, very optimistic, like most Manchester United fans are at the moment. But how is the mood in the squad? How has it changed so much under Ruben Amorim? What has he done in such a short space of time to convince Manchester United fans so much that he is the right man to take Manchester United forward? And it is going to be different than it was under Ten Hag. I think it's all quite clear, actually. But we're going to go through some players. We're going to talk about an injury, a possible injury for Bruno Fernandes, which could add to a bit of a midfield sort of conundrum nightmare. Don't know how bad his injury is. I don't think it's too bad. But still, Manchester United with suspensions and injuries going into the Arsenal game. Is he going to rotate it? We're going to get into details on that. I want to get all of your thoughts as well. We didn't get through as many of your opinions last night on the live show as we could because we were talking through everything. We didn't have too much time, but I want to get as many comments in as possible this morning in the live section, as well as comments in below. I want to start with Marcus Rashford, talking about him. Could this be his last chance, his turning points? Have we seen a different approach from Ruben Amorim to Marcus Rashford? And that is why what we've seen as former standout player when he first broke on the scene, we've done all the talk. What's different? What has Ruben Amorim done to Marcus Rashford to make him feel like he is that player again? Because he's talking like everything has changed, Marcus Rashford. His opening to his interview, his post-match interview. By the way, it's all great talking to the cameras, isn't it, when you're doing well? Everyone knows my opinion of Marcus Rashford and what he's done, what he is. I'm not going to say that I don't want him to score goals. Of course I want him to score goals. I want anyone United to score goals. And we support whatever we see on the pitch when we see a bit more effort. And there was that there yesterday. But what Marcus Rashford said after the game was quite important as well, and what Ruben Amorim has done and what he has changed at Manchester United. He has just brought in that belief. He's brought in that confidence into the players. He has changed the atmosphere around Manchester United, Rashford said, in that he has just been positive and everybody has latched onto it. Now, everybody latching onto it is where it makes a massive difference for Manchester United. Not just a few players, everyone. If you're Marcus Rashford right now, we know, let's just break this down and just lay it out on the table. Marcus Rashford before, if he wasn't playing, you probably would have seen him sulking. You probably would have seen him moping around the pitch when he came on off the bench. Ruud van Nistelrooy hauled him off after 60 minutes continuously under his few games. Ten Hag in the end was probably getting fed up with him because he wasn't putting the effort in. Whether that being down to Ten Hag or just mismanagement, misprofiling or whatever, I don't know. That's gone now. We don't need to worry about it. What we need is a goal scorer. Marcus Rashford has had 2 starts in the Premier League under Ruben Amorim and he's got 3 goals. The effort in the first game against Ipswich was atrocious. It just didn't look like he cared, and it looks like Ruben Amorim has got him after what he said in his interview as well in the press conference about Marcus Rashford wanting it, having to want to discover Marcus Rashford again and be Marcus before he even steps out onto the pitch. I think that is what's happened this week. And that, I feel, is the difference. And that's what I think Marcus Rashford's alluding to when he spoke yesterday after the game. That Ruben Amorim is that man manager that someone like Marcus Rashford needs. It's basically going up to Marcus Rashford and just telling him some home truths. And just saying, look, you want to be in this team, you're going to have to do this, this and this. And what you're seeing in games and what's different with Ruben Amorim is what he does on the sidelines. I mean, obviously, I'm at the games and I can see it. Most people have seen the clips of him on the sideline as well if you're watching from home. Erik ten Hag used to stand there with his notepad and do absolutely nothing. And I mean nothing. There was no emotion. There was nothing there. We wanted that character. We wanted some charisma, didn't we? That's what we were always saying about Ten Hag. He didn't do anything. And it was said, like Benny McCarthy came out and said, under Ten Hag, he gave the players the instructions and then he just left them to it. He didn't show any emotion, and that's different with everyone. Right now, I look at this Manchester United team. They need someone on the sideline who is literally kicking and passing every single ball with them, and that's what Ruben Amorim is. You can see he's literally dragging players from position to position constantly. And what have we also seen under Ruben Amorim? We've seen reactions after half-time. So whenever he says something, it seems like these players actually believe in what Ruben Amorim is saying. Whenever he has sent the players out for the second half, or they've just come out of the changing rooms for the kickoff, you look at his first 2 games, instantly, with his words ringing in their players' ears, they've gone out and scored in the first minute of 2 games, the first 2 games. They've gone out in the second half, in the first few seconds of the Everton game, and just killed the game off. It's like he said, look what happened on Thursday night. We didn't take the chances that we should have, and we had a bit of a shaky end to the game. And today, they've just gone out, sorry, not today, yesterday, they've gone out right after half-time, 2-0 up, finished Everton instantly. The game's to bed, substitutes can be made, everyone can relax, it's brilliant. But what is definitely a difference with Ruben Amorim is his personal approach to players and how he deals with these players. You never got any of this from Erik ten Hag. You never got any sort of insight into what is going on. Ruben Amorim has made it clear what his plan is with certain players. He's told us what he thinks of certain players. He's actually explained why he's naming players in interviews and press conferences. The media have got no comeback on him at all yet. They cannot get into him. Obviously, we haven't been beaten. We haven't been beaten badly. And it's all jumping around. Everyone's singing and dancing and happy. It's all roses. Everything's fantastic. And obviously, the adversity will come. We will lose games. And then we'll see what happens. But you just know with Ruben Amorim, it's like he'll just explain it. And you'll understand what he's talking about. It's like it felt like a defeat against Ipswich, didn't it? But he came out and he just killed everything off straight away, instantly. He just told us as it was. What we were watching was exactly what he described and what he's going to do going forward. And the next pre-match press conference, what comes up next, he explained a little bit more. That's when he went into Marcus Rashford and what he's supposed to do and what he needs to do. He didn't start the game in midweek. He started yesterday. He took his chances. He got his 2 goals. Yes, you could say a little bit fortunately for a deflective goal, but he's in a position. They've worked on something on the training ground, and he's there where he needs to be, and hopefully that gives him the confidence to go forward. But if Ruben Amorim can turn Marcus Rashford around, then Manchester United are going places. I mean, how many times this season have we been looking and doing one of these shows, and we've looked down at the bottom of our screen there, and it's been Manchester United in the bottom half of the table. I'm just happy now to be looking at that table on my screen right now. We're into the top 10. It's not great. It's not good enough. But still, we're into the top 10. We've got wins under our belt. We're closing the gap on that top 4. And we have got plus goal difference. The biggest win in Manchester United for Manchester United in the Premier League in the last 3 years. Amorim's already done that. In the space of 2 weeks, he's turned Marcus Rashford around and changed his attitude. By the way, I do believe, and don't take this as just me making a smarmy comment or something like that, but the fact that Marcus Rashford has got a new girlfriend, yeah, you know where I'm going with it, but yes, he just seems to be a bit calmer maybe, and a bit happier about himself. And what was going on off the pitch, we will never know, but it was quite clear that there were problems. So Ruben Amorim has given Marcus Rashford that arm around the shoulder with a warning, I feel. And I think that's what the difference is with Marcus Rashford right now. If he's putting the effort in, every other single player, and I've said this so many times, and why it's so important that we talk about Marcus Rashford more than anybody else, he sets the standards. I don't want to be slagging him off, talking about how much of a disgrace he is and his attitude in the games and what he does on the pitch. I don't want to talk about Marcus Rashford's world on his shoulders, doesn't look like he's enjoying his football or anything like that. Why? Because when you're the most senior player at one of the biggest football clubs in the world and you've come through the academy and the club are protecting you so much, every other player is going to be affected by that in the squad. And if Marcus Rashford's on point, United are on point. And that's the difference. And I think Ruben Amorim has recognised this instantly. And yeah, we still may get rid of Marcus Rashford in the summer. I still would sell Marcus Rashford in the summer. I think we need to move past him. I'm not going to change my mind about that. But like we've always said, we've got 6-7 months of football under Ruben Amorim for these players to get Manchester United where we need to be, and then we'll make a decision. If he goes absolutely out of his way and it is an absolutely amazing season, we may have to change our minds about that. We can only talk about what we're watching, and no one can convince us that what we've seen over the last 18 months has been good enough, anywhere near good enough, and that will always stay. The only way that you change people's minds is by doing it on the pitch, showing that you really do care and you want to make a difference. It's crazy how it is all about everything changing under a new manager. And why didn't he do this before? And the conversation will come in when it doesn't start going right with Ruben Amorim. Rashford will down his tools again, spit his dummy out, toys out of the pram like a few other players as well, not just him. And they'll just start going the same way with this new manager again. Look, it's not going to happen. They won't get the opportunity to. There are players here that will play well this season and then will still be sold at the end in the summer. There are. You know there are. We know there are players that are going to be released. By the way, I was told yesterday, and this is a definite, that Christian Eriksen was left out of the squad and was notified by a text from the manager. Ruben Amorim texted Christian Eriksen and said, "You're just not in the squad." It's as simple as that. It's brutal. He doesn't care. There's no injury for Eriksen. There's no injury for Lenny Yoro. There was no room in the squad. When have we ever been able to say that? Ever, as Manchester United fans? At any point over the last, 5 or 6 years at least. How many times have we been able to say something like that? Honestly, it does feel like a turning of a page. We are going to lose games. Things won't always be as rosy as they are right now. But still, you are seeing a difference from an approach from a coach. Someone who is getting the most out of everyone in the team. And this is what everyone has always said in the build-up and when we're getting excited about Ruben Amorim coming in and we're looking into what people were saying about him and researching him and what he's going to bring to United. It was all the same. It was his hands-on approach to players. If you can get hold of Marcus Rashford, the biggest player at Manchester United, whether you like it or not, he's not the best, but he's still the biggest, and we know what I mean by that. If you can get your hands on him and turn him around, you turn this club around. That's the top right there. That's the key. If he's playing well, then everybody else plays well. It's sad to say it, but there are hidden rules within teams and clubs that you have to get past, and that's the problem. Cut the head off. You sell him or you convince him to play. I think convince him to play, get the best out of him, and sell him in the summer. That's how I feel about Marcus Rashford right now. I'm all for him turning his season around, go for it. But I'm still not going to be convinced and fully convinced. Maybe if you go on, like I just said, that miraculous season where you're just blowing everybody away and you score 20 plus goals this season, we may have to have another conversation about it. But what it does do, it gives United an option and Ineos an option going forward. It helps us sell him, worst case scenario. If we've got a player that wants to stay and play second fiddle to another striker coming in, then that's up to Marcus Rashford. That's where we're at with him right now. Show us what you've got in this next 6 months, and then we'll make a decision in the summer. That's all we can do. That's all we can say, and that's all that anybody can expect from this point forward. Please give the video a like, everybody. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. We have just passed over last night 64,000. It has been an absolutely mental few days. You guys have been jumping on to all of the content. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments and your shares and everything like that. We are on the road to 70k. We are smashing it right now, so please do hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, and get your comments in, because that is where I'm coming right now. First of all, we have a few super chats to get through. They have come first of all from Enjoy Writing. Thank you very much, mate. You've put a few in here. I'm going to read yours out first of all. It's funny. It's a funny old game, Adam. 4 points behind Man City. Exactly, mate. Exactly. The squad is better than Ten Hag showed. 100%. I kept saying that to people. Everyone was laughing at me. Who's buying Marcus, mates? Who'll pay for him? Look, if he has an amazing season, someone will buy him. It's as simple as that. Someone will put money forward for Marcus Rashford. If he has that miraculous season, and Manchester United have not got any intention of giving him a new deal, and Ineos are a different ballgame. Let's not forget, Ineos didn't give Marcus Rashford his deal. They didn't pay for his underperformances. It was the old regime. So let's see, now 2 years into his new deal, which it will be at the end of this season, what they do. Let's see what happens. People will come knocking if Marcus Rashford keeps up what he did yesterday in his goal-scoring form. I keep saying it, like 2 starts, 3 goals. It is early. The opposition hasn't been the best as yet, but still, from what we had before, it's a massive difference. That's 7 goals for Rashford this season now. All of a sudden, things are looking completely different. And when you look at other big players right now in the Premier League and other players that are always under the microscope, some fans were actually saying, I cannot believe we're getting rid of Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho's numbers since he joined Chelsea? Nothing. Thank you, Chelsea. And well done for doing well and not finishing below 14th, so you have to give us just under 20 million in the summer. There you go. Brilliant. Lee Mack with a super chat as well. I don't believe a word that comes out of Rashford's mouth. He's been through 5 managers now. A leopard never changes his spots. Totally agree with that, Lee. That's all we can hope for. Like I just said, he's not going to change. He is who he is. But Ruben Amorim can get more out of him this season and already has done. Really, what this video is about and what this show is about is crediting Ruben Amorim for getting anything out of Marcus Rashford. That's what I think we're talking about more than anything here. This is more about what Ruben has done rather than what Rashford has done. Somehow, Ruben Amorim has managed to get a problem and turn it into a positive and make it work for him. Now, if you can do that, like I said, and this is what I want to make, and just get this point across to everybody. It's not like I'm changing my mind on Marcus Rashford. I just want to be talking about him scoring goals and then he can go and do what he wants to do. But I'm not going to slag him off when he's put in a performance like he did yesterday and he's got the goals and he's done his job. I'm never going to do that. But my opinion will never change. I'm just going to say what I see, and that's all it will ever be. That's all it will ever be. And no one can ever come back at me and say that I have turncoated, I have just completely 180'd or anything like that on a player because he started to play. Well, look, praise what you see, say what you see, and just be honest. And that's all you can be. Ruben Amorim is the reason why Marcus Rashford is turning his season around in the first couple of games. You cannot disagree with that. I don't think anyone can. You got Rawls with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that, mate. Rashford, still gone for me. Key to last game was them finding a role for Zirkzee. Everton defenders, very large, so we use Zirkzee, hoping they continue to define his role as the season continues. Great comment and great super chat. Thank you, you got Rawls. Definitely right, because Ruben Amorim did touch on this, and we were talking about it with Jay last night. We did touch on what Ruben Amorim said and how he played Zirkzee. He was like a false 9. He adapted his positions. And like what Ruben says, it's not all about the formation. It's not about a certain player playing in a certain position. It's about the attitude and the character of the players and figuring out a way to get through the game. Now Zirkzee just went and battered Branthwaite, went and battered Tarkowski. They gave as good as they got, and it was a good old tug of war. It was to and fro in. Great hold-up play at times from Zirkzee. Good touch as well, I thought. But he threw his weight around. And that is for the first time this season I've seen him do that. He went out there with a purpose and a mission, with the manager's, coach's message ringing in his ears, I thought. He knew exactly what he had to do. And he went out and did it. And that was the difference with Zirkzee from what we've seen so far. He went out with a purpose and he went out with a clear message in his head from the coach. And he did his job. And he was there where he needed to be. Remember when Ruben Amorim, after the Ipswich game, was talking about Joshua being in a certain position when the balls came in? Ahmad broke the line. Ahmad broke their possession. He pressed. He won the ball up high both times. And where was Zirkzee? Exactly where he needed to be. He was holding the ball up. He was fighting the forwards. He was giving space to both Rashford and Bruno because he was taking on both centre-backs. He was causing a nuisance for himself. Ruben knew exactly what he was doing in where he was positioning Zirkzee in that game. And I think he has developed a role for him. Like you got Ross said with the super chat, it's a brilliant comment because he's right. He's bang on the money. Adapt and figure it out. You're going to have to keep on fine-tuning. And all of a sudden, you're looking at Zirkzee with 3 goals this season. You're like, okay, now if he continues on that, in that vein of form, you're looking at this summer and what we've done in the recruitment side of things and going, wow, actually, every single player that's come in has actually improved Manchester United in a way. Why? Because you've got the right man in the bleeding dugout. That's why. We knew this all along. I knew that this team could get top 4. We could get battered by Arsenal on Wednesday. I still think this team will get top 4. I'll keep saying it. You don't have the right man in the dugout and they don't believe in the manager, you're not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter. There's an approach that you have to take. Ruud van Nistelrooy cottoned on to this instantly when he took over from Erik ten Hag. All Ruben Amorim has done, and again, like we said, the beauty of Ruben Amorim is he gets it, and he definitely understands. It wasn't perfect yesterday, he said. Everton probably deserved more from their first 30 minutes, But past that, we dominated, we took our chances, and it was great. We deserved more in the Bodo Glimt game. Yes, we did. Ahmad was brought through by Van Nistelrooy, not Erik ten Hag. Ahmad saved Ten Hag's career by scoring them goals that he did last season. That last-minute goal that he took against Liverpool, it basically saved Ten Hag's career at United. And what does he do? He dumps him and isolates him for nearly 6 weeks, having been his best player at the start of the season. That's not going to happen under Ruben Amorim. That's not. And I think he recognised what happened with Ahmad and how talented he actually is and how crazy it was that he wasn't featuring for Manchester United. Look, the Sunderland fans told us as well. They told us what Ahmad was like. The United fans have been crying out to see him. He's now in play and he is now pivotal. He's now a main player at Manchester United, and under Amorim, he's going to continue being that way. We'll talk about whether he starts the game and what we're going to look at for Arsenal as well in this show. But the rotation may mean that Ahmad might not even play. That's an interesting one, because me and Kaz had a conversation this morning about you've got to surely play him against Arsenal, but then it really doesn't matter with Amorim. He's just going to do what he wants to do when he's going to rotate this team. So it's going to be interesting. Great to meet you yesterday, Adam. Yes, Greg, it was. Absolute pleasure, my friend. And thank you again for the super chats. Just so everyone knows, Adam is about 8 foot tall in real life. Great atmosphere at Old Trafford. Feels different. It does. I'm not 8 foot. I'm not 8 foot tall, but yeah, I am. When people see me actually off camera, it is a bit of a shock. The fact that I am like 6'4" and I think I'm about 16 stone at the moment. Yeah, so bit of a unit. I'm not just saying that to big myself up. That sounds really crap and calling that, done it? But yeah, Greg, pleasure meeting you yesterday, and it was in great circumstances as well. Around the protest before the game, and then the game itself was brilliant. It was a great vibe around Old Trafford again yesterday. And Manchester United fans really encouraged from what they've seen this season. I'm going to get into some more of your comments now. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Absolute legendary, a lot of you. Love that. Marcy says, what a load of old cobblers. He has changed, with loads of question marks in the comments. Why put up this click thumbnail if you don't think he's changed? Going off this channel very fast. Go off it then. See you later, mate. I love bringing up comments like that. Have I not just explained what I meant by it? Slingy Rock in the summer, still, but if Ruben Amorim, and I made a point of saying it, numpty, that it's Ruben who has changed Rashford. He is changing these players. So don't come on and slag me off like that when I've explained what I'm actually talking about. Dear God, people, man. Oh, I tell you what, man, you can't win, can you? Look at that, there's another one. Adam's obsession with Rashford is weird. Is it? Am I not just talking about what happened yesterday? Can we not talk about someone actually turning their season around a little bit because of a manager that's come in and changed his team? Or do you want to stick to your own narratives and agendas against what I say, in my opinion, against him? Did I not just spit out facts? Is that not enough for you? No, you know why? Facts hurt. They do, don't they? And not many people want to deal with facts. Jesus. Come on, everyone. You've got to do better. If you're going to come at me, you've got to do better than that. Seriously. Wowza. Let's see what else we've got in the comments here. We need all players to shine because it affects their sale price. I want Rashford to have a great season and then sell him. Not because he is a bad player, but it is the right time for the team. That's a very good comment again from Andrew there. Andrew Douglas, well said. I think that's on point, really. A lot of fans are not going to get carried away by one performance from Marcus Rashford. Like I'm not. I'm going to say what I see. He played well yesterday, and that's it. He's got his 2 goals. He's got his 3 under Ruben Amorim, and he is playing better under the new coach. What more is there to say? I think United should still sell him in the summer. There's a time to sell players, and I think what Ineos will do is be the difference this time. Make sure that you get the maximum value out of every player. What I feel is that Rashford will have a better season under Ruben Amorim, and Ineos will have the opportunity to sell him for more money than what we did this summer, which is true. It's factual. 2 years into his new deal, I think Ineos will seriously be looking at Marcus Rashford going in the summer. They may not. They may think that he has turned the corner. But what Marcus Rashford has to understand is he is not going to be number 1 at Manchester United. And under Ruben Amorim, he has already realised that. And that's the beauty of it. He never is going to walk back into this side right now. He didn't start in the week. He started, he took his chance, and you cannot fault him for that. Zirkzee started, took his chance. Rasmus started, took his chance. Do I need to put any more examples in front of people to say how much of an effect Ruben Amorim is actually having on this team right now? We're talking about the biggest problem of all being part of the positive right now. So yeah, let's spin it around. Let's not try and have a go and come up with stupid comments. Let's actually just get down to the detail and the facts of what is happening right now. And it's because of Ruben Amorim. It's as simple as that. That's all there is to it. Someone else with a different approach who understands where a player is at and the issue that player has got, because it is an issue, because he's said it and he's told us. Find yourself and you'll find yourself being a member of this team again. And that's exactly what we've seen so far. Ten Hag looks a bit silly now. Super chat from Enjoy Writing. He does, doesn't he? He's made to have been look a bit of a fool. Look, what you've got to say is Arsenal, different ball game. Let's not forget. Let's just be real. And Ruben Amorim said this. He wants to be honest with the fans as well. Everton had chances. Ipswich had chances. Bodo Glimt scored a couple of goals against us. 3 games. 1 draw, 2 wins. It's good. We're moving in the right direction. We have a massive task ahead of us this month right now. And nobody's under any illusions as to what Manchester United are facing. We have got very tough away games. It's all right going out at Old Trafford with the fans behind you, everybody in buoyant mood, playing a lesser opposition and showing yourself and doing a job. That's what everyone's done so far. When the chips are down and you're up against a very, very, very good Arsenal side, then we will see how far these players have come in such a short space of time. Really, they should be looking at this and going, if we are going to show the fans anything, we are going to show them we're exactly the same in a big game against Arsenal as we are in lesser games against Everton, Bodo Glimt, Ipswich and teams like that. This is where they stand up. Are they going to be able to handle going behind to Arsenal? Possibly go 2 or 3 goals behind and still play the same way, show the same effort, body language changes and things like that? Because that could easily happen on Wednesday. No one's under the illusion that Manchester United are completely back. We are moving in the right direction, and it does look like we have got progression going on because we've got players performing instantly, which is a big thing. And let's not forget, under Ruben Amorim, when you look back at what he did at Casapia, at Braga, at Sporting, look what happened at every single one of them clubs. The instant impact. And he will always play it down. He has to play it down. This is the biggest job he's ever taken. And this is his first job outside of Portugal. And it is a different league and a different animal, the Premier League. He's not going to have it the same way. But even if United lose to City, Arsenal away, Liverpool away, maybe even Spurs in the Cup, and we go out of all these games in the next 5 weeks, which we've got, you still got to look at what he's done with players like Zirkzee, like Højlund, Rashford, and look, right, in the long run, we are still going to progress. We know we can see it already. We can see a difference in these players. So it gives you confidence going forward. It gives you confidence that you can actually get more out of these players. And even when we lose games or lose badly or have bad performances, you're still going to get more from these players. So that's what I think is the difference. That's what we are seeing. And again, it is no easy job turning someone like Marcus Rashford around. It isn't. I think for him to get into him already, not just play him like Ten Hag did and just keep on playing him until he finds something, I think he's said to him, look, he said he's come out public and said it. He didn't play in the Bodo Glimt game. Rasmus came in, took that number 9 spot, played excellent. Mason Mount took his number 10 spot, played excellent. And you know what? And all of this, I wouldn't play Marcus Rashford against Arsenal. I wouldn't. I still don't think he deserves to ahead of the other players. You've got to earn your way back. It's a good start for Marcus. It's a good start. But I think Mason Mount belongs in that team ahead of him right now after what he did and how much he's had to wait. And I think Garnacho is still ahead of him. Personally, you've got to even add to the equation Joshua Zirkzee right now is in the equation as well. And it's going to be interesting what we do. And this is where I want to move the show on to what we do with the situation we've got right now. By the way, in terms of how Ruben Amorim, get in the comment section as well, how he's handling things. The fact that we have sat out Yoro and Eriksen, who are both fit and not in the matchday squad. I seen a picture the other day, and someone put up a picture, a worrying picture of Bruno Fernandes with an ice pack on his ankle. And I looked at the picture and I went, do you know what? And the whole picture said 1,000 words. It told you everything that was going on with Manchester United. It was 68 minutes on the clock. Manchester United 4-0 up. And we had Mazraoui, Højlund and Bruno Fernandes all sitting out, resting out the game. When has that ever been a scenario for Manchester United over the last 18 months? 3 key players sat on the bench while United are 4-0 up with more than 25 minutes to go. And your captain's on the bench as well. Yeah, he had the knock and he's got the ice pack on. I think it is purely precautionary. I don't think there is anything serious about it. I've not heard anything, or no one's told me anything different just yet. I will try and find out more information for the evening, before the evening show later. But yes, looking at it, I feel right now Manchester United are just in a completely different mindset. And we will lose games. I keep saying it, we will lose games. And when Arsenal comes around on Wednesday and we're looking at this team, we go a 4-0 win. Wow, we surely got to keep some of the same players. I don't think he will. I think he'll change it up. I think there is a good chance that both Ahmad and Marcus Rashford don't start the game against Arsenal. And I want your opinions on this, I do, because it sounds really strange saying it, but if we are going to continue with this Ruben Amorim ball and this rotation, and he's going to believe in what he is doing, he is going to believe in playing his whole squad and getting everybody involved and everybody on board with his whole philosophy and what he wants to do, then I think we have to continue it even into the bigger games. Like I said a minute ago, me and Kaz were having this conversation. Surely he's got to play his best players against Arsenal. Should Ruben Amorim change what he has been doing already, which is working, because it's a bigger team? I think he's personally rested certain players out in this game because he wants them for Arsenal. I think he wants Zirkzee as 9 against Arsenal. I think he'll give us more. Rasmus Højlund. I think he will give us more in the Arsenal game than what Zirkzee will. And I'm not saying that Zirkzee can't perform, but I think he's on the stepping stone sort of progression right now, Zirkzee, bit by bit, step by step. I think that's where he is right now. I think it will be Højlund. I think Mount will play as well. I think that energy comes in. And then you've got the conundrum in midfield, really, because Kobbie Mainoo is out. He's not available. I don't think he would have played him anyway because of the rotation side of things. He got a good amount of minutes yesterday. He's now suspended, so that's out of the equation. Martinez is out because of suspension as well, so 2 key players there who played really well. Martinez's stats yesterday and the game before, by the way, were off the scale. Brilliant. Had one of his best games for Manchester United, if you're looking at the stats yesterday as well. So he is out. He is going to be a big miss. Does Luke Shaw come back in? Is it Johnny Evans again? Harry Maguire is fit and available. Does he play? That's the concern, isn't it? Big players like Martinez, who have been a starter no matter what for Ruben Amorim, and you know you can rely on, missing in this game on Wednesday. I think personally he will go with Casemiro and Agate in midfield, and then I think he'll play Bruno and Mount behind Rasmus Højlund. It's just what I think is going to happen. I've just got this in my head that that's how it's going to work. There could be a scenario where Bruno's in at 8 next to Agate, and it might be Garnacho and Mount and then Rasmus Højlund. But what you will have is a fresher team. A lot fresher. Who plays at wing-back? I'm not sure. This is where it changes. Because I think Mazraoui will be in the back 3 because Martinez is missing. I personally think it will be Shaw, De Ligt, Martinez. Shaw, De Ligt, Mazraoui at the back. And then the wing-back situation, that's where it gets interesting. Will it be Dalot again? I think it will, because I think Dalot has shown form for playing 2 games a week. I think he has got good form for handling Xhaka, who is a very, very good player and on top form at the moment. He's played on the left before against him, and if he's got Luke Shaw there backing him up on that left-hand side, it could be another centre-back, then I think that's our best option there. Agate, I think he's 100% starting this game. It's whether or not he goes Bruno's energy and hoping Bruno is disciplined enough to stay and help with regards to Odegaard, Martinelli, players like this who are just off. It could be Casemiro for his defensive duties and Agate, a bit of extra security in there, I think. And then Bruno could easily play in that front 3. It's a tough one, but one way or another, you are going to get a fresher team coming in, and that's something to cling on to as well. I'm more concerned about Bruno than Rashford. Rashford will take care of himself. Bruno seems to be a mainstay again in Amorim's teams. Let's be honest though, Bruno did play well yesterday. His invention and his 2 more assists as well. You cannot ignore that. He made some sensible decisions yesterday. He could have took that shot on. He picked out Zirkzee. The vision to pick out Rashford and pinpoint it to him, and Rashford scored from it. Again, big moments in games, and that's what you are going to need. There's going to be a key moment in a game where Bruno Fernandes is needed, and he does that better than anybody else. I think that's why he's in the team. And of course, the energy levels that he does bring. Martinez has been a joke again all over the pitch, diving into tackles and diving in and out of tackles, out of possession, not tight enough to delict, a liability, 2 big errors per match. ATKO. I have to completely disagree with you on that one. I really do. I think you're really trying to dig out an issue that's not there with that one there, mate. But no, cheers for the comment. Honestly, everyone's got their own views on things. I just don't see it. Greg says, that was the system we played to build up the play and overload and then switch. That's literally how we won the game. Talking to United Spotlight on that one. Pat says to You Got Rawls and Gehan, you guys think maybe Agate can sit beside him and cover him versus Arsenal? I'm jumping into comments here and different conversations within the chat. Keep it going, everybody, as well. Amorim smashed the negativity with United. Yep, he did, Viking Red. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, hi, Adam. We were very clinical at the weekend. Some really good performances. Are we seeing some real progression? We shall see where we are at levels-wise on Wednesday versus Arsenal. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Adam. Forget about what you like and don't like. Let the coach do its thing. If he gets the best out of Rashford, why would he sell him? So let the coach coach. It's all about the club. Look, Leroy, look, my opinion will not change about Marcus Rashford. I still want him gone. I do. I think we can get better, is what I'm saying. So at this point, it's not about my opinion, what we've seen before with him. Is there better out there than Marcus Rashford, even if he has a great season now, that we can get that's going to work better in an Amorim system? I think there is. That's just my opinion. But let him coach him, yeah. Let him do his thing. If he turns him into a world beater, that conversation will be had at the end of the season. All I'm doing right now is talking about what he did yesterday and what we've seen so far, and it looks good. Let's hope that continues, and let's hope that we are having an awkward conversation and we're having a big debate whether to get rid of him or not. Because if we are having that debate at the end of the season, it means that Rashford has continued his form. It means that Amorim has really changed him. And that will be a very interesting convo come the summer. I look forward to having it, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for the comment, buddy. One thing I like is the player power is dead. It is. It does feel like it as well, doesn't it, Gehan? Players are now giving a little bit more. This only gets better and better as they get used to our new system. Exactly that. Another super chat from Enjoy Writing. Thank you. We might pick Salah up on a free in the summer. Liverpool have to get him signed up, don't they? They really do. It is crazy where we are at right now. By the way, just like to put it in perspective, Manchester United 4 points off Manchester City. Better goal difference than Man City. Better defence than Man City. Manchester United are the 3rd best defence in the league, by the way. Let that sink in. We are top. Golden Glove. Onana is up there with the most clean sheets. And that can get mixed in a different way and completely spun. Because we could be losing 3 and 4s and then getting a few clean sheets and all the numbers still adding up to a bad goal difference and bad defensive performance overall in terms of goals conceded. But it's not that. We're conceding 1s. We're getting clean sheets. I think he's had 6 clean sheets now this season in the Premier League, which is crazy. And United do have the 3rd best defence in the league right now. It's working. Credit to them defenders. That's why I picked up on that comment about Martinez. I don't agree. I think he's working well with De Ligt. I think there is an understanding there. Mazraoui has complimented them two in the back three massively as well and deserves massive praise. The form and the standards that that guy has got is what will be infectious, I feel, amongst the rest of this team. When you've got big players that have been at big clubs all playing well, you cannot not jump onto that as a younger player, as a player that's just arrived at the club, new to the United scene and the big club scene. You will cling on to that positive side of things, and I think Mazraoui brings that. I think the whole back line does bring that at the moment, and you can see Onana getting more confident with the players that are in front of him. And that's the interesting thing. When he has got players that he trusts in front of him, you can see a better understanding. Yesterday, we just didn't have that nervousness about us. The fans weren't as nervous. It was brilliant. It was great that we had that confidence and we could just see the game out and people were enjoying their football. The fact that Everton fans were emptying the stadium with 35 minutes to go, that told you everything about how much in control Manchester United was yesterday. And that is something that we just don't see anymore. So, yeah, I'm going to keep clinging on to that. We have over 200 likes on the live show. Thank you, everybody. Just put another like on there. Let's see how high we can get. We've already hit our mark, so well done, everybody. Amazing stuff. Make sure you have subscribed as well to Forever United TV. We just did go past 64,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 70k. Want to get as close to that as we can before this year finishes, everyone. So please do make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Get involved in the live chat. That's the only way you can be in the live chat. And there are some brilliant conversations going on right now in there with people. I can pick out lots of people talking to each other about certain things. It's good. I love it. I love to see it. I'm impressed with the defence. Remember, we have Euro to come in. That will make us even better. We played from the back with confidence. We kept the ball. This is real progress. When you look at 70-odd% possession against Bodo Glimt, 60% possession yesterday against Everton, it does go into what Ruben Amorim was saying again. We need to look after the ball better. We do. And we are doing. We are looking after it better. And we are protecting the ball better. We're using it better. We're creating chances. And we're creating clear-cut chances. Look how many balls we've crossed in. Look at the amount of goals we're scoring from crosses. Simple, basic football. We scored from a set piece yesterday, which was a bit inventive from Bruno and Rashford. We scored from pressing up the pitch twice yesterday, which is even more impressive from Manchester United. We have energy, we are making the right decisions in the final third, and we are clinical at the moment. That's 8 goals in 3 games for Ruben Amorim. And do you know what? May it continue. Please let this continue. I don't always agree with your opinions over the years. However, since we have Ruben Amorim, we 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000% agree. Don't you think it is weird that there was a dive with Erik ten Hag, but United with Amorim is just a different level. We are United again. Les, 100%. Look, when it comes to agreeing, I don't expect people to always agree with my opinion, but one thing I will always say is what I see and be honest about what I see. And I see a massive, massive upturn from this Manchester United side under Ruben Amorim so far. But it feels different. You look at the amount of players he's used over 3 games. It never would have happened. Not even under Ruud van Nistelrooy. Not under Erik ten Hag. Definitely not. Everybody feels a part of this. And I'll say it again, if you cannot find space in your squad for Lenny Yoro and Christian Eriksen, then these players are playing for the coach. Because that means that he cannot leave the players that he's got on the bench out to bring somebody else in. No matter who he is, what he's won, how well he's played already this season, how much money he cost. If there's no room for you, you're not in. And this is what I said. When it comes to the youth team players as well, I don't want them youth players being thrust in to Manchester United's side just because we need to try something different. These players have to realise that they're the ones that are holding them positions down and they're the ones that are going to be in the matchday squads. And I think Ruben Amorim has got these players wanting to be part of the matchday squad because when they come on the pitch and they do something significant, that is going to have an effect on when they come on the pitch again and whether or not Ruben Amorim is going to actually select them again. And I feel like that's what he's got. He's got everybody involved in this team so far. And there is more and more of that to come. That for us is our morning show, everybody. I have got extra content coming up. Mine and Andy Tate's highlights from the game yesterday. Me and Andy Tate were sat with each other. They are coming up this morning as well on the channel. Our highlights reel, it is epic. Trust me, you have to see it. Me and Andy Tate in the stadium together celebrating Manchester United. That is coming up later this morning, everybody. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It was epic. What a day it was yesterday. Absolutely buzzing with that. But for now, mods, members, all of the people who contributed super chats, thank you so much. Please give the video a like on the way out. We'll hit the 250 mark, definitely. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. Be on the journey to hit that 70k if we can before Christmas time, before the end of this year. That is us done. Thank you, everybody. I will see you all later on and keep you posted with any news coming out of Manchester United. Up the Reds! Come